What have I learned from living in Central Florida? Somebody asked me that question the other day. What have I learned from living in Central Florida? And because I've been here quite a while, I really had to think about that for a while. And that made me realize that actually a lot of things I've learned from living in Central Florida, a lot of things that are different to where I came from. And I thought maybe this information could be useful for somebody who's thinking about moving to the area. So I started making some notes, and those notes are now about to be a video, and I hope you find it useful. I hope you find this information useful if you're thinking about moving to our area. You might not think that everything I'm talking about is different to where you live, but it might trigger something that you might want to ask me or somebody else is, what is these things like in Central Florida or in Florida in general? My name is Bent Danholm, and I'm a real estate broker with Maxim Realty Orlando. And like I said, I've been here a while, so I have quite a few things that I've found are different to where I come from, and I hope that you'll find them useful. One of the things that first springs to mind is that in the summertime, you might want to consider doing whatever you want to do outdoors, either early in the morning or in the evening, because afternoons can be both very hot and humid, and we also have these afternoon rainstorms that makes it pretty uncomfortable to be outside in the mid-afternoon. So if you have something you want to do, whether it's going to the theme parks or you go to the beach or go in the pool or whatever you want to do outside, you might want to do that in the morning if at all possible, or in the evening after the sun has set, because both times of day the temperature is a lot more pleasant than it usually is mid-afternoon in the summertime. And also be ready for rain at the most random times of day. Most of our rains in the summer specifically comes in the afternoon, but rain can be pretty random around here, and it's usually also very short-lived, so it will be anywhere from maybe 20 to 40 minutes, and then it's all gone and sun shines, and a few minutes later you won't even know it's rained because everything is dried up because of the sun. But do maybe keep an umbrella in your car, because if you get caught in one of these random rainstorms, it can be a lot of rain in a very short amount of time, so it's really nice to have an umbrella handy. A lot of people also keep a window cover for the windshield, because that keeps the car cooler. Definitely, if you have the ability to remotely control your air conditioning in the car, you might want to do that. Turn the AC on a few minutes before you get to your car, so it's nice and cool when you get there, because if the outside temperature is 90 degrees, the inside of the car could be easily 130 degrees. So if you have the ability to cool your car down before you get to it, that's something I've learned that's really useful when I've had a car that does that. Also, get to know the traffic patterns, because traffic can be pretty annoying around here, and we have a lot of traffic congestion. So by getting to know where the most congested areas are and where the most congested roads are and the most congested time of day and year, then you can really save yourself a lot of time and a lot of headache by avoiding those areas and those times of day. And especially in the winter, maybe allow for a little bit extra time, because we have a lot of extra people around here. There are a lot of many snowbirds in town, so when the snowbirds double our population, the roads get more congested than the rest of the year. A lot of snowbirds coming to town is good for the economy, and it's good for everything else. There are lots of advantages that we have a lot of people in town for short periods of time, but it also causes a lot of traffic jam. So get to know your area and how to avoid the worst congestion when you drive around. Another thing I've learned is really to appreciate cool days, especially in the summer, when if the temperature cools down for a few days. That is very nice. I also love the cool times of the year, because believe it or not, we do have seasons in Florida. I mean, they all pretty much the same color, green, and to a degree a little bit flowery, blooming, but we don't really get the autumn colors, but we do get different seasons with different temperatures and different humidities in the air. And one thing I've learned to appreciate is the spring and the fall and even the winter. I used to dread the winter where I came from, but the winter in Florida is actually quite nice. Even a day when you walk out and there's frost on the ground, it won't sit there for long, but it's very nice to see that the temperature can actually drop a bit when it's winter. And not a problem I personally deal with, but frizzy hair is a problem for a lot of people, especially the ones with much longer hair than I have. So many people, especially in my family, they have a flat iron, I think it's called, something to flatten their hair with. I'm not an expert because, as you can tell, I don't really deal with frizzy hair. I don't have a lot of it, but that's something that I know people have to get used to when they move here. Living outside for me personally is something I've gotten used to. I come from a place where it's pretty cold a lot of time of the year, so we spend a lot of time inside. So me personally, I spend a lot of time outside whenever I can. So living outside is something I've learned to do. We cook outside, we eat outside, we do everything outside whenever we can. So that's something I've learned to do. I also learned to live and coexist with the Florida wildlife. In the beginning, it can be pretty scary with alligators. It's also fascinating with all the different types of birds we have around here. And it's something you have to get used to. I learned to live with gators. I've actually not seen a gator for a very long time where I live, but it's something that you have to get used to. Buying a home, in my personal opinion, and buying a car, it's not really an option to buy one without this, but AC is, in my personal opinion, non-negotiable. So I have learned to maintain my AC, make sure that it all works optimal, because a summer day in Florida, summer night in Florida, without air conditioning can be very, very brutal. Also, when you come here as a tourist, going to the theme parks, you pretty much have to go when you're here anyway. So you can't really plan other than whether you're here for a week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks. You'll have to go to the theme parks if that's what you want to do, whenever you can get tickets, and you'll most likely be here in tourist season. What I've learned as a now local Florida resident is to avoid the theme parks in the peak of tourist season and go when it's less crowded, and find days. Tuesdays are really good, by the way, for theme park. Even in tourist season, Tuesday seems to be less crowded than most other times of the week. Another thing that you learn to do here is stay hydrated, because with the heat and the humidity, it's very draining for the system, so make sure you drink lots of water. Hydration by alcohol is not advisable in this climate, so hydration by water or energy drink might be a good thing. I'm not personally energy drink person, I prefer water, but anything that will rehydrate you is a good thing. That will help a lot during these days. I've also learned to do business in shorts and t-shirts. Well, not me personally, but I know because I still prefer pants and a shirt when I do business, but I have learned that it is totally acceptable to do business in shorts and t-shirt. So if you come here and you meet with somebody in a business capacity, don't be surprised if they are wearing just a t-shirt, flip-flops, and a short. And shorts. That's something that you will see specifically maybe more in the southwest, but also around here in Orlando you can see that sometimes. I meet sometimes with realtors on showings, and they show up in virtually anything. It's totally acceptable here. That's something I had to learn, that you don't have to wear a suit and a tie. Actually, you really shouldn't wear a suit and a tie when you do business around here, especially in the summer, because you will sweat a lot and it's not comfortable, and it shows when people try to wear suits and ties in the summer around here. I think that's it. Oh yeah, and also the pace of life is different here than it is in most other parts of the world. It can be pretty hectic business-wise and life-wise, and shopping, especially around Christmas time, is pretty hectic, but most of the time life here is pretty laid back, lazy, and relaxed. So that's something I've had to learn. I come from a place where things are a little bit more fast-paced than here, and I really enjoy that we can slow down a bit around here. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, I hope you will subscribe to my channel and hit that little notification bell so you get notification whenever I create a new video. Also, if you like the content, maybe give me a thumbs up. That's really useful. And if you didn't, that's even more useful if you let me know in the comments below if you didn't really like the content or you felt I left something out. Thumbs down is useful, but not as useful as a comment. So I hope you'll grace me with a comment if there's something you don't like. And also, if you do like this video, yeah, feel free to comment positive as well. I really enjoy that. it makes my day every time somebody comments positively on one of my videos. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, my name is Bent Danholm. I look forward to talking to you next time. Bye for now.